Are you ready to be inspired? Meet Risa, former Iron woman whose life took an unexpected turn when she faced the challenge of a lifetime, a tumor. But instead of letting it defeat her, she courageously transformed her entire life, defying the odds and embracing a new path filled with resilience, strength, and determination. From riding the Pacific Trail from Canada to Mexico, get ready to be moved by her story of overcoming adversity and finding a new sense of hope. Welcome to Fearless Fridays with Marianne, the podcast to help you get unstuck, heal your inner child, and reshape your future. I am your host, Marianne Rivera-Dannert, and with over 10 years of experience as a coach, author, speaker, and owner of MRD Empowerment Solutions, I use my personal life experience with trauma, healing, and rediscovering as a catalyst for personal growth. My mission is to empower women like you to discover and unlock your full potential, paving the way to a life marked by freedom and balance. Together, we'll tackle the tough stuff and find the strength within to rise above. And today we have an amazing young lady with an incredible story to share. So without further ado, let's bring her on. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you? It's so good to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's get started. Tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Risa August, and gosh, what's the most exciting thing going on in my life right now? I'm a newly published author, which is really exciting, and I'm living in Colorado, and by day, I'm a Gestalt practitioner, and by night, I'm just doing all things that fill up my heart and soul.
I love that. So you mentioned something. You are a what practitioner?
Gestalt practitioner. It's a holistic approach to therapy. It's very experiential and non-traditional.
Oh, okay. What got you started in that field?
Well, I started working for a woman that pioneered partnering with horses doing this specific type of therapy, the Gestalt therapy with horses. And I started actually running her behind the scenes operations. And I was like, this is kind of fascinating, the work she's doing. And so I went on to become a certified practitioner myself.
So for individuals like myself who had no idea what exactly that means and what it is. So can you talk a little bit more about what it is and how does it work?
Sure. So Gestalt is a German word that is loosely interpreted as wholeness, meaning wholeness. And the practice believes we're not broken. We have all these parts of ourselves that have kind of gotten impacted from past traumas and experiences. And we help guide people to kind of bring all those pieces back together to wholeness.
So you are, like you said, an author. So tell us the title and the inspiration. What made you write the book?
So the book is called The Road Unpaved, Border to Border with a Brain Tumor and a Bike. And I was diagnosed at the end of 2018 with a tumor at the base of my brain. It's actually attached to my pituitary gland. And it causes a rare disease that wreaks havoc on the body. So it's not cancerous, but it's not benign. And it's completely changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I went from being an Ironman athlete and a very detailed wedding and event planner. And all that changed after diagnosis and brain surgery and radiation treatment. And I had to really look at my life and how I can move forward differently. And so my book is about, I guess it was a healing process of putting that journey on the page. And to make a long story short, I needed something to kind of strive for, to live for. And I have always wanted to ride my bike across the country. And I thought, what the heck? So I started looking at different, routes across the country. And none of them were appealing to me. And then I found the Pacific Coast route from Canada to Mexico. And I just did some research on it, and I just decided, oh my gosh, that's what I'm doing. And so I decided it one day. And so my book talks about that bike ride and it overlaps my journey through diagnosis and living with this new way of existing, I guess.
So the diagnosis came before the bike ride.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the most scariest part of your journey, going from Canada to Mexico?
Oh my gosh. The first thing that comes to mind is being in Big Sur, the stretch of Big Sur on the California coast, where it's just sheer cliff drop-offs. And when large semi trucks or big RV campers would whiz past, and it kind of has this backdraft of like sucking you in. And if you overcorrect too much, you could go the other way and fly right over the edge.
Wow.
So that was a little unnerving sometimes. And, I definitely said a few prayers during those moments.
Yeah. Wow. How long did the ride take you?
Yeah. So the ride took 41 days, so about 6 weeks. And I took 4 rest days during those 6 weeks. So.
Was it a solo trip, or did you have someone accompanying you?
I actually signed on with a tour company that did what was called a semi-supported trip. So basically they transported all of my gear for me, but it was up to me to set up my tent and, take care of my needs. And if I had any issues on the road with my bike, that was all on me. I had to figure out how to get from point A to point B every day and, navigate myself to the next camp spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary. You are definitely an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
And how are you doing today? What is life like today?
So they couldn't remove the entire tumor. Part of it's wrapped around my carotid artery, and there's a small part of it that's too close to the optic nerve, which is too dangerous to pursue. So I went on to have radiation treatment, and I have to be on different medications to control the tumor and the rare disease that it causes. And so I just decided, all right, I'm going to live my best life. And so I am doing all the things I've ever wanted to do. I'm taking all kinds of classes and I still butt up against that challenge of, but no, I used to be able to do all these things. But now it's simply different.
Yeah. What has been the most difficult part of your journey to get used to?
I'd have to say the lack of energy, I guess. The fatigue is phenomenal. Like I've never experienced anything like it. And it's not just a matter of, oh, I'm tired, I didn't sleep well last night. It's all full body fatigue. How am I going to get out of bed and function today? So that's probably the biggest challenge for me, someone who was an athlete and just very action oriented all my life. And now I have to, it's not a matter of my time that I have to structure and schedule. It's my energy, what's going to fit within the parameters of my energetic ability.
Right. Yeah. So you probably had to go through a grieving process because there were things that you lost. Did therapy play a role into your, the new you?
Yes. Oh gosh, I feel a little teary thinking about that. Yes, absolutely. I grieved for a long time, and I in the beginning I just refused to believe I was never going to be that person I was again. Like I was just like, nope, I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm going to prove the doctors wrong, my friends wrong, my family wrong. I'm going to be that person again. And it wasn't until recently that, within the last year where I started getting to a place of acceptance of that. It's like, okay, no, I'm no longer that person, but I am even more fabulous.
It's kind of like rediscovering who you are. and falling in love with yourself and falling in love with new things all over again.
Oh my gosh. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So your book, I know that you said that it was, like a healing process for you also. So how are things going with the book? How did you come up with the title?
The title came to me because I just started thinking of, how metaphorically, how we all travel down our own road in life. And it's not always smoothly paved.
Yeah.
It's bumpy and potholes and twists and turns. And that was kind of my thinking behind that was the metaphor for an unpaved road.
Right. What were some of the signs that you were going through that you experienced that led you to, seek medical attention and figure out that something was wrong?
Yeah, well, it took years. Initially, like women are taught to kind of look at their thyroids, right? Like when things start going awry in our bodies, but my blood work kept coming back normal, but I knew something was wrong, like over and over. And it wasn't until it took about 8 years to get diagnosed. But I finally got, I started having such severe headaches that I asked for an MRI, and I had to actually work at getting the MRI. My primary care physician at the time was like, didn't think I needed one. And she's like, your blood panel looks fine. But I finally demanded one, and that's when they found the tumor.
Yeah. So you definitely had to do a lot of advocating for yourself and pushing.
Yes. And since then, I've become a very vocal patient, and I'm pretty sure I'm not every doctor's favorite.
But it's so true because you're paying for medical insurance. You're going, you obviously know your body. You know that something is wrong. So what would you tell to the individual that's listening to us that feels like something is off and they're speaking up, but they're not being heard? What are some tips that you can give to someone to learn how to advocate for themselves?
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's great. I would just say, keep at it. Trust your gut. Keep at it. And even if you're not certain, like it's better safe than sorry. Yeah. So keep at it. Keep being that patient that doctors might not like so much. And if that doctor isn't willing to work with you, go find another doctor within your network or outside your network, whatever serves you. But just keep at it. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Are there certain things that you have to avoid? Because I know that you mentioned that they weren't able to remove the whole tumor. Are there certain things that you can't do that you wish you could?
Yeah, well, physically, so the disease I have physically changes the structure of my body. And so walking for too far of a distance, like further than maybe 1.5 miles, becomes extremely painful for me. And like I said, the fatigue is extreme. So I might want to do 5 things in a day, but I might only get to pick 1 or 2. Yeah. So those are the 2 that come to mind right away.
Yeah. You are on the Fearless Fridays podcast, but how are you living a fearless life?
Well, I love this. Like I said, I'm trying anything and everything and without judgment. So, I've tried an aerialist circus class just because it looked amazing and it was so incredible. And I had all this fear and worry about, I'm not as strong anymore. And it didn't matter. It was so fun. And I've taken like hip hop dance and Bollywood dance and salsa. And am I allowed to say this? I even tried a dominatrix class. And I think it was very basic and PG compared to what's out there. But nonetheless, it was a lot of fun. I'm letting my curiosity find the joys in life. And, nothing's off limits. Like I've tried axe throwing and indoor skydiving. And, I just want to make this life feel just so full and joyful.
I love that. You're definitely living a fearless life. I love that. Do you ever receive like resistance from, friends, family that say, okay, Risa, you're doing way too much?
Oh, this is a layered question, because there's that part of me that still likes to keep up appearances of, well, I'm still that Risa that can do it all. And I think even sometimes I try to convince myself of that. And so when people are like, maybe you should, back off a little or take it easy, I just am like, yeah. But then when I hear, oh my gosh, Risa, you're doing so much and you're amazing, like it's almost like fuel to keep me going, to keep me striving to live life fearlessly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So where can individuals buy your book? And are you planning on doing a, book tour? You've gone across country from coast to coast. So do you plan on going state to state?
Oh gosh, I really hope so. My book has taken off unlike I just don't think I ever imagined it having such a positive impact. And so I hope I can, certainly. And yeah, I hope to start using it more as a platform and get into more public speaking. I do some public speaking with pharmaceutical companies and medical professionals, but I would love to get more in the realm of inspiration and motivation and such.
And where can our audience, support you and buy the book?
Oh yeah, thank you. So you can get it on bookshop.org. You can get it on Amazon.com. It's actually being carried in a lot of smaller bookshops around the country. But I imagine if you have a favorite bookshop you like to support, they'll order it for you as well.
I love that. What else are you working on, in 2024? And what are you looking forward to?
Oh, in May, I will be riding my bike across northern Spain on the Camino de Santiago. And
I love that.
Yeah. So it'll be like a pilgrimage of sorts. And I'm nervous about it because this one I'm doing on my own. I'm not doing it, with a support van or, anyone else. And I actually took French in school. So that's another worry of mine, but I have been trying to learn Spanish.
Have you seen the movie The Way?
I have not seen it.
It's awesome.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Okay.
It's a pilgrimage. I won't say too much. It's about the pilgrimage of, the walk.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think that's what's coming up. Yeah.
I love that. And I know that you just recently published your book, but I can see a part 2 coming out.
It's brewing. It is brewing. So
That's awesome.
We'll see how it unfolds. Yeah.
That's awesome. What parting words can you leave our audience with for someone that may be struggling and they're not sure of what to do next?
Oh gosh. Yeah. This brings me tears too, but don't let anything limit you. Sometimes it's a matter of just shifting your perspective. So for example, I can't do Ironman races anymore or extreme outdoor activities, but oh my gosh, it's opened up an entire world of other things I've gotten to experience. And so when I took away that limiting belief and didn't focus on, I can't do this anymore, and started focusing on what I could do, oh my gosh, my whole world opened up. So, yeah. That's
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, I'll be looking forward to some updates when you come back from Spain.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing part of your story with us.
What an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Marianne. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to leave a 5-star review and share with a friend or two. If you're not already following me on social media, come join the Fearless community at MRD Empowerment Solutions on Facebook and Instagram, or visit my website, marianneriveradanert.com. I'll catch you next week with a new episode, and remember that you are a priority and you matter.